do a role at Toastmasters, at a Toastmasters meeting? Well, today I'm going to be responsible, well, Jim will be the cameraman, to record my role as Toastmaster as a training video for the club, which also fulfills one of my television projects in the Advanced Communicator Manual. So, Tool, can you give me
3 minutes?
Right. Tool, can you give me 3 minutes? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to hand out the functionary appointments. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
The first thing, prior to the meeting for a Toastmaster, one is to fill the functionary roles, which I just was reminded I forgot to fill. You also need to get intro speech titles and intros to those speech titles. If not, you need to make something up so you fill that time. With the knowledge of the speeches, you determine your theme for the meeting. Ideally, it's something that ties them together, but if not, find a way to make it work. You need to get the word of the day, preferably something related to the theme. Number 5 is to produce the agenda, which you see before you. And lastly, is to prepare your topic, your theme topic that you're going to talk about. Mine was preparing for a Toastmaster role. At the meeting, you want to fill any vacant functionary roles that either people didn't show or you didn't fill them in. You need to arrive early to make sure to get the ball rolling here, and also make the room is conductive to a meeting. Now, to introduce the functionaries, our first functionary will be a tool, and these are a timer. Ooh. And please tell us what you're going to do with that timer.
As a timer, I'll keeping the track of the times. For table topic is 1, 1.5, and 2 minutes. We have 2 speakers, 3 speakers today, and everybody is between 5 to no. Arnie is 8 to 10. Joe is 5 to 7. Greg, you have 13 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, thanks. Thank you. So I'll keep the track of the time and give the report at the end of this meeting.
Okay. Our posture bell is going to be Kathy, and she's going to tell us what she's going to do with this bell.
Thank you. Outside of prepared speeches, I'm going to be looking for any kind of nonverbal communication that interferes with the speech. And if I see hand gestures or hands in the pocket or jingling of keys, you'll hear this. Okay, thank you.
Our accumulator is going to be Dr. Jim. He's going to tell us what he's going to do with this wonderful little horn of ours.
Fantastic. We want to hear every word that tumbles out of your mouth today. However, we want each word to be a special, a treasure that we can hold on to forever. Don't spoil it by putting copper coins in between the pieces of gold that you're sharing with us. If you say ums, if you say ahs, you'll hear that. And sorry about that.
That's even worse.
Hello, can you hear me? You'll hear me go like this if you say ums or ahs or anything that I find to be distracting. Anything I don't want you to say, you'll be hearing it from me. I will not make any noises during our formal prepared speeches because, goodness gracious, those 3 people worked hard enough to get their speeches together. However, I will take copious notes and I will provide you with a report at the end of the meeting today.
Thank you. Our last functionary role is that of the grammarian. Vinod, do you have a printout of the word? No. Okay, so the word is on our agenda. I'll hand him the form and he'll explain to us as grammarian what Vinod is going to do with us today.
As a grammarian, I will check the sentences people are talking about, and also I will look out for the words of the day at LA, which means workshop or studio. And its usage is atelier was the headquarters of lively little cottage industry. So I would like, although it is mandatory for table topic speakers to use this word of the day, I would like everyone in the room to use it. Thank you.
Atul, can you give me a minute and a half? A minute and a half. I already used some of it. As a Toastmaster, when you start the meeting, the best thing to do is follow the agenda. You have times on here to keep yourself on track. Remember, when you're greeting each person at the podium or with the functionary roles, you want to shake their hand and greet them. When that person is done at the podium, then when you come up and after you shake their hand, then they're dismissed. So you want to make sure that you do the handshake and when you come to the podium and leave the podium. Also, you want to make sure that when you do distribute the functionary forms, you have all of the forms and the instruments with them. Make sure they're all functioning before the meeting as well. And if you forget what to do as you're going along, just follow the agenda. I have put Toastmaster notes into the agenda so that when you read through this, you'll know what to do. So with that in mind, with our cute little atelier of our room, I guess it could be an atelier, our first speaker, when you introduce a speaker, you want to use the prepared info if it was provided. Oh, evaluators, thank you again. Joe needs an evaluator for his speech. Ramesh, can you cover that? And Arnie, you need an evaluator.
I can pick one. You can pick which one.
Who would you like to pick?
Just say. Here.
Karen, all right. Thank you once again for reminding me I forgot to fill the evaluator role. When you don't have a prepared intro from somebody, best thing. Timer, can I have 1 minute, please? I'd like for you to share your thoughts on notes for Joe, something you liked about his speech if you were listening, and something you can improve if you're listening. Well, this past weekend, my daughter got married. The whole week I was told that up to my daughter's wedding, it's all about her. It's her wedding. You know, this is an adult, she's 30-something, she can plan her own wedding, she wants it her way. And I was all for that. But fathers of the bride are important too. They need direction, they need guidance. They need someone to hold their hand, because they've been holding this little girl's hand all their life. Now they need someone to hold their hand to get them through it. There should be an organization like the FBI, Fathers of the Bride in the Knowers. These are people whose job it would be to keep the father in the know. Tell him where he's supposed to be and at what time. But there's, as far as I can tell, no such organization exists. So today, Greg will share with us his experience as father of the bride. Now, to continue with our program, we'll have our table topics. Beth, will you please come up here and do our table topics for today?
Yes.
Thank you. Part of our program is the genuine evaluation of the. So I'm going to call up our genuine evaluator, Sanjay, who's going to take over the evaluation portion of the program. Thank you, Sanjay. One thing I'd like to point out is Toastmaster, try to these notices before the meeting. Once you have your theme, it's really neat to try to tie that theme into an introduction or an invitation to the meeting. For example, today I was a little bit late in sending it out, but I was asking for people to fill in the studio roles that I had. I needed a timer, I needed a stage director. So you try to tie, make it more appealing to them. Sort of like trying to sell your story. It's your infomercial, it's Toastmaster, it's your 1 hour here. So you want to sell people to come see it. With that drama, let's have our results for our voting today. Table topics go to Sanjay. Thank you, Congressman Sanjay. Our next ribbon. We're evaluating our speeches today. Our best evaluator today is Ramesh.
Yeah.
Now, today's blue ribbon, and it's not a beer, goes to the best speaker today, who is not listening, Joe. Joe.
Thank you, Gary. I mean, Greg.
Now, as the parting role of Toastmaster, is to invite the president back up to speak to adjourn the meeting. Suresh, please come back up here.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
So everybody, let us give a big hand to Arnie, who completed his 10 CC.